There is a mountain on Earth that no human has ever climbed, not because it is impossible, not because it is the tallest, but because no one is allowed to. Mount Kailash rises in the remote Tibetan plateau, standing at 6,638 meters, yet it remains completely untouched. While climbers conquer Everest every year, this mysterious peak is different. It is sacred, protected, and surrounded by centuries of belief and legend. Why has humanity, capable of reaching space and the deepest oceans, chosen to leave this mountain alone? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind the mystery of Mount Kailash. There is a mountain on this planet that has never been climbed. Not because it is the tallest, not because it is the most dangerous, and not because climbers lack the skill. In fact, humans have conquered Mount Everest, crossed Antarctica, walked on the moon, and sent machines beyond our solar system. Yet one peak still stands untouched by human footsteps. That mountain is Mount Kailash. Rising alone in the remote Tibetan plateau, its icy pyramid shape cuts into the sky like something placed there intentionally. For centuries, explorers, pilgrims, scientists, and adventurers have stared at it with awe, but no one has climbed it. The question is simple, yet deeply mysterious. Why? Mount Kailash stands at 6,638 meters, or 21,778 feet, in the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. By Himalayan standards, it is not even among the highest peaks. Dozens of mountains in the Himalayas are taller and far more technically challenging. And yet, while Everest sees hundreds of climbers every year, Kailash remains completely off-limits. The reason is not physical impossibility. The reason lies in faith, history, politics, culture, and mystery. To understand why no one can climb Mount Kailash, we must explore all of these layers carefully. Geographically, Mount Kailash is unique. Unlike the jagged peaks surrounding it, Kailash has an almost symmetrical four-sided pyramid structure. Each face aligns closely with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. Many have noted how unusually geometric it appears compared to other natural mountains. At its base lie two important lakes. Lake Manasaravar, known for its clear fresh water, and Rakshastal, a saltwater lake often associated with darker symbolism. These lakes add to the spiritual aura of the region. Four major rivers of Asia, the Indus, Sutlej, Brahmaputra, and Karnali originate near this mountain, making it not just spiritually significant, but geographically vital. But geography alone does not explain the prohibition. The real answer begins with religion. Mount Kailash is one of the most sacred places on earth for multiple religions. In Hinduism, it is believed to be the home of Lord Shiva, the destroyer and transformer in the Hindu trinity. Devotees believe Shiva resides at the summit in eternal meditation with his consort Parvati. For millions of Hindus, Kailash is not just a mountain, it is the center of the universe, the axis connecting heaven and earth. Climbing it would be seen as stepping onto the abode of a deity. It would be considered a profound act of disrespect. In Buddhism, Mount Kailash is equally sacred. Tibetan Buddhists associate it with Demchok, also known as Chakrasamvara, a deity representing supreme bliss. Buddhists view the mountain as a mandala in physical form, radiating spiritual energy. Pilgrims believe walking around the mountain purifies karma and brings enlightenment closer. For them, the mountain is not meant to be conquered physically. It is meant to be honored spiritually. Jainism also holds Mount Kailash in deep reverence. According to Jain tradition, the first Tirthankara, Rishabhadeva, attained liberation near this mountain. For Jains, it is a place of ultimate spiritual victory, not through climbing, but through renunciation and self-realization. Even the ancient Bon religion of Tibet considers Kailash sacred. Long before Buddhism arrived in Tibet, Bon followers worshipped this mountain as the seat of spiritual power. With four major religions venerating the same peak, Mount Kailash holds an unmatched spiritual status in human civilization. Because of this multi-religious sanctity, instead of climbing the mountain, pilgrims perform a ritual called the Kailash Parikrama, or Kora. This is a 52-kilometer trek around the mountain, usually completed in 3 days. Pilgrims believe that completing one full circuit washes away the sins of a lifetime. Completing 108 circuits is believed to bring ultimate liberation. Thousands of devotees undertake this challenging journey every year, walking at high altitudes in thin air not to conquer the mountain, but to show humility before it. Now we move to the legal dimension. Mount Kailash lies in a politically sensitive region under Chinese administration. The Chinese government does not issue climbing permits for Kailash. While China has allowed commercial climbing on Everest from the Tibetan side, it has maintained restrictions on Kailash due to religious sensitivity and diplomatic considerations with India and Nepal, where many pilgrims come from. Officially, there is no global law declaring Kailash unclimbable. But practically, the government does not allow expeditions, and no commercial mountaineering activity is approved. Interestingly, there was once discussion of a possible climbing attempt. The legendary Italian mountaineer Reinhold Messner, one of the greatest climbers in history and the first person to climb all 14 8,000-meter peaks, was reportedly offered permission in the 1980s. However, Messner refused. He stated that climbing Kailash would be like conquering something sacred. He believed that some mountains should remain untouched out of respect for local culture and faith. His decision reflected a powerful idea. Just because humans can do something does not mean they should. Beyond religion and law, there are environmental concerns. Mount Kailash sits in a fragile ecosystem. The region is remote, harsh, and difficult to access. Allowing commercial climbing would require infrastructure-based camps, fixed ropes, waste management, and rescue operations. We have seen how Everest has struggled with pollution, overcrowding, and environmental damage. Many believe that protecting Kailash from similar commercialization preserves both its ecological and spiritual purity. Then there are the mysteries. Over time, strange stories have circulated about Mount Kailash. Some pilgrims claim that time feels distorted near the mountain, that hair and nails grow faster than usual. Others speak of unusual magnetic fields interfering with compasses. Some conspiracy theories even suggest the mountain is hollow or man-made, shaped like a pyramid intentionally. UFO sightings have been reported in the region, though without credible scientific evidence. It is important to separate folklore from fact. There is no verified scientific proof supporting supernatural claims. However, the mountain's symmetrical shape and isolation certainly fuel imagination. Another curious detail is that climbers who have studied its structures say the rock faces are extremely steep and covered in loose snow and ice, making technical climbing dangerous. Yet many mountaineers argue it is still physically climbable with modern equipment. So again, physical difficulty is not the primary barrier. Cultural respect remains the strongest reason. In a world where humans constantly push boundaries, climbing higher, digging deeper, exploring farther, Mount Kailash represents something rare. It represents restraint. It symbolizes the idea that not everything must be conquered. For centuries, civilizations have built monuments to reach the heavens. But here stands a natural monument already reaching toward the sky, asking for reverence instead of ambition. When we ask why no one can climb Mount Kailash, the answer becomes layered. It is not about fear. It is not about lack of skill. It is about belief. It is about identity. It is about preserving something sacred in a rapidly commercialized world. Mount Kailash remains untouched because millions believe it should remain untouched. Governments respect that belief. Climbers respect that belief. And perhaps deep down, humanity respects the idea that some places should belong to the spirit, not the summit. Today, thousands still journey to its base. They walk around it, pray, meditate, and return transformed. They do not plant flags at the top. They do not claim victory. Their victory is internal. And that may be the greatest lesson of all. Mount Kailash stands silent, powerful, and unconquered, not because humans lack the ability to climb it, but because sometimes respect is greater than achievement. In a world obsessed with reaching the top, perhaps Mount Kailash teaches us that the highest peak is humility. And maybe that is why no one can climb Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash remains one of the last unconquered peaks on Earth, not because of danger, but because of devotion. For millions, it is not just a mountain, it is a spiritual center, a symbol of faith, and a place beyond human ambition. In a world driven by achievement and conquest, Kailash stands as a reminder that some places deserve reverence, not victory. Perhaps its untouched summit teaches us something deeper about respect, belief, and limits. What do you think? Should it remain forever unclimbed, or should exploration have no boundaries? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold mysteries.